Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Natalie Min, CEO of FMI Guild, and this is part of our special webinar series. It started off as an alumni at FMI. She came to our last summit and she was able to really launch and grow her business by multiple factors. And I'm very excited to bring her back. So once I started learning her background, I was like, this girl is a total powerhouse. So a little bit about Katrina. She is an MBA, a CPA, NASM certified trainer, and she's an NPC fitness competitor, or bikini competitor, I should say. She's a creator of Fit Life Creation and the owner of KatrinaJulia.com. Katrina is also, on the flip side of all the fitness connections, is that she's a certified fraud examiner, internal auditor, author, and philanthropist. A few big brands that she has worked with are Excel Spa, ClassPass, Emory University, Victoria's Secret, Chevron, and Exxon. So some big brands that a lot of us know about. She will be speaking at our live event on the subject of billions on our brains, how to bring them out for about 2 hours at the 8th Annual Fitness MBA Summit this October. So hi, Julia. Say hello.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Thank you so much, Natalie. Super excited to be here and super excited to present at this year's event.
I'm super honored to actually have you. So if you guys are listening to me and I sound a little nasal, I have a sinus infection. So I'm hearing a little bit of my own echo inside my own head. So if I'm having awkward pauses, I'll try to manage this. So thanks for joining us. So big part of what I want Katrina to do today is that she is a huge wealth of information. For someone with her level of professional background, she has a unique ability as a CPA to go deep dive into data. I'm talking like, 10,000 feet down into the ground and find all the details, look at it, examine it, and synthesize it. While at the same time, because of her MBA background, she's able to look at it as well at the 3,000-foot level. So her ability to look at companies and figure out how can they monetize themselves, where are they losing money, what are patterns in what they're doing and how their finances are running, she can identify these very quickly, second nature. With that skill set, because she's able to drill down, find weaknesses, and then at the top end, see visionary plans on how to move forward. She's able to do this for folks like us, someone who's an entrepreneur looking to redo their business. So I want to allow Katrina to take the floor at this point.
Thanks so much, Natalie. And then again, for those of you that even have issues sometimes with clarity, how Natalie and I were just joking and talking about how sometimes not even recognizing our own strengths and weaknesses, and how sometimes I have to tame my own mind. And Natalie was amazing at helping me just gain clarity last year with just my brand and what I wanted to create as everything was coming together. And then also FMI and all the things that I learned last year in 3 days massively helped myself as well as my brand get to where I am, because it was a 3-day immersion experience of all these people that have created all these incredible things, whether it was ebooks, whether it was memberships, just take your pick in the digital marketing space for fitness, and having access to that kind of information in 3 days, from people that have already been there, like Natalie Jill, is way above and beyond from a value standpoint that I could have gained in 2, 5, or 10 years. So thank you for that. And so jumping in, as Natalie mentioned, I'll be giving you guys kind of a sneak peek into some of what I'm going to be presenting at actual FMI. So as Natalie mentioned, at FMI, I'll be speaking about billions in our brains and bringing them out. But this is kind of an ABC 1, 2, 3 sneak peek into that. So shape up your training and your education and now your business. So as personal trainers, as competitors, as people that coach your clients, gym owners, studio owners, you're used to having physical handle on your body, physical handle on your business. But imagine taking that same discipline and imagine taking that same incredible work ethic and that same focus that you put on training your muscles and your body, as well as your focus on your food and the nutrients that your body needs, and catapulting that into your business. So kind of what I'm going to jump into is a quick gut check for you. What's in it for you? some of our stories and the importance of our stories and what matters. I'll walk you through high level a strategy activity, a structure activity, a systems activity, some content types, as well as case study and steps to success, just to kind of give you a sneak peek in some of the things you'll see at FMI, as well as some giveaway deals, and then just an opportunity for Natalie and I to bounce off of each other, and some Q&A. So I want you to really dig deep, and you know the answers. You don't need a guru or someone to tell you, what's wrong. You know, you live in your body every single day. So you know the answers of what's blocking you as well as what's allowing you to succeed. So I really want you to dig deep and ask yourself, are you struggling to build a training or a fitness business you love? Are you solely training clients one-on-one versus maximizing time? Are you allowing yourself to compete with others versus truly embracing your passion and your purpose and creating a niche for yourself? Are you struggling with sharing your story to inspire others? So as you think about this, before there was a Natalie Jill, there wasn't a Natalie Jill. Before there was a Chatty D, there wasn't a Chatty D. They created, themselves. They created a niche. They believed in themselves. So who you are and bringing that out matters. Are you afraid to set up a business plan and get focused? And you guys, keep in mind, what I'm teaching or what I'm covering is years of experience and not being afraid and learning the information and immersing myself. Are you intimidated by getting a website done? Look to resources to get them done. Look at Natalie's services, look at FMI. Are you frustrated with growing your social media and online presence? Are you irritated with systems and setting up automation? Are you stuck with creating value for your clients? And are you scared you won't have fun if you make fitness a business? Are you scared that it's going to be too overwhelming, the fear of success? And are you stuck making the same or less income for over a year? So as you think about those things, so shape up your training and your education and now your business, and now diving into what you can take in that work ethic and that discipline and apply that exact same mental mindset and those exact same habits, but reposition them to your wealth, putting money in your pocket and your business. So what's in it for you? So we've got gut check, what's in it for you, our stories, walking through strategy, structure, and systems and activities, content type, case study, a steps to success, and giveaway and deals. So again, you guys, this is a sneak peek into what you're going to see for those of you attending FMI. So as a gut check, I want you to grab a piece of paper and answer yourself honestly. And if you answer yes to all these questions, I can promise you you're self-sabotaging yourself in so many ways. You're solely training clients one-on-one. If you're competing with others, if you're sitting there looking at Instagram or looking at Pinterest and comparing versus being inspired by where people have been and learning from them, there's a fine line between the two. If you think sharing your story is being narcissistic, reposition your mindset and realize that your story matters, can help inspire others. Because I get inspired by people, so many different people, from every single direction in fitness, whether it was Natalie Jill or Jennifer that lost over, 200 pounds after having a baby, or, Ingrid Romero, that I've coached with through Team Edge. I mean, so many different people that I got inspired through them sharing their stories or sharing their vision. Are you afraid to set up a business plan because it's something you haven't done? Are you intimidated by getting a website done? Well, the more you stay in that space, the longer you are staying away from success, basically. And if you're irritated with anything like systems or setting up automation, that speaks to lack of potential patience or lack of gratitude, or realizing either A, you've got to learn something yourself, or B, you need to partner with someone that can help you. So you heard Natalie talk about some of our backgrounds and some of what we've both created. So again, you feel free to kind of explore and visit, our respective websites for different information and different insight. So let's sit down and talk about strategy. So I want you guys to grab a piece of paper. So, are you a trainer that's trading time for money? Or an instructor? Or, you're creating content, whether it's on social media or for blogs, but it's always, per piece or it's per hour. But basically, it's a direct correlation of trading time for money. So what if you created programs with value and exponential value that your clients didn't have to go to someone else for meal prep, or they didn't have to go to someone else for supplements? What if you created group training or group academies that were specific to something that you're passionate about and specific to creating value within your clients? So like you heard Natalie talk about some of her IT background or her digital background or ebooks or marketing or so many different things in space. So it makes sense that she has an organization like FMI that gives back in that realm. For me, I integrate a lot of wealth and business. And if you think about it, that makes sense because not only is that my background, but it's my full, wholehearted passion. I would do it for free. I love to travel. So what if you integrated travel? Natalie and I, before this presentation, were talking about some of the retreats and the things that I'm creating with influencer and client retreats that are part of the whole healthy lifestyle and transformation. So what if you integrated travel? What if you digitized every single thing that you do, smartly freeing up your time to do more, to create more? So the main premise that I want you, as you're thinking about this, as you're writing down ideas, as light bulbs are going off, is love what you do, increase value, and the income will come. It's basically passion, purpose, people, and profits. So how we're trained. So I really want you guys to think about, and stop beating yourself up, because most fitness people, we're all type A, we're up to the next level. For competitors, it's like, okay, am I nationally qualified? Am I an IFBB pro? There's always that push, which that drive is amazing. Never want you to lose that passion and keep that, but also give yourself grace. So what I mean by that is we're trained for instant gratification. We're trained to trade time for money, to work for someone, the world's version of success. Don't do it all alone. Because great things take time. For those of you that haven't heard or read, Nike, Phil Knight just released his memoirs, Shoe Dog. It talks about his ups and downs of creating Nike. It's an amazing story of the time, the effort, the muscle, the persistence that it took. There's an incredible movie called Walt Before Disney. All the things in near bankruptcy and failure, which really wasn't failure, it was just basically being propelled to the next level that he had to overcome. So just thinking about that, Nike, Apple, Disney, they weren't built overnight. Structure. If you're working per hour, what if you started creating so much value that things started coming to you and exploding? What if you created a business plan with a clear roadmap? What if your website became very clear and then your program started expanding and then you also digitized different things? Or what if you gave away more things for free on social media? What if you really worked and focused on YouTube and really came up with a cool strategy to either integrate workouts or nutrition? Or maybe you're passionate about fashion, or maybe you're a mom and you want to do some cool videos with your children in the background doing fitness with you. What's something that you love that you can integrate naturally? And so systems. So as we get busier, oftentimes I see so many trainers get stuck in the overwhelm, or group instructors, that, oh, I'm teaching this many classes, or I'm training this many people, or, I don't have time because I also work, in corporate America, or whatever the case is. One thing I would challenge you on is stop saying you don't have enough time. You make time for the things you choose to. And by saying that you don't have enough time, you're getting stuck in that hamster wheel. What if you realize that not only are you your best cheerleader, but you're also your worst enemy? And what if you step back and you ask yourself, what if I could automate some of the stuff? Or what if I stopped or transitioned my one-on-one clients to doing maybe 2 or 3 people at a time? And what if I freed up some of that time to focus on social strategy or story sharing? Or what if I freed up some of that time to create ebooks? Or what if I automated my content, whether it's my blogs or my e-blasts or my Instagram? Or what if I really sat down with myself and had a meeting with myself to create a roadmap of where do I need to free up time and create space, and where can my business go next? So content type. Oh, you're gonna have to edit this one too. It says Izza. Okay, so let's move on to really talking about the case study and talking about what you can create. So we've kind of set the tone through strategy, structure, and systems, but let's take it further and let's look at some clear monetization on where, with time, persistence, and application, and hustle, let's be real, like hustle your ass off. I mean, that's basically the premise of being an entrepreneur. What if you started creating memberships with your content? What if you started collaborating? You guys, 300 people or 100 people, there's over 8 billion people on the planet. There's more than enough for everyone to go around, because the people that are going to be attracted to me are going to be different than are attracted to you, and so on. So, and what if you, expanded with ebooks? What if you started creating content, and not just blogs or articles, but what if you started thinking about, wait a minute, I can create certifications and I can teach people and create academies and legitimately expand. And you guys, the numbers here, the 2 million that you see to 1 billion annual, is just based on exposure to 5 million people. So remove the limitations and the fears from your mind. And then looking at programs. What if instead of training your clients per hour, you developed a virtual system where you gave them the content with meal plans and workout plans and memberships, but you also gave them supplements and meal bags and so many other things? Then what if you created retreats and trips with products and partners and leaders? And this is some of what I've created. We're going to Costa Rica next month, Cuba next year, and I have people lining up already into Brazil into April. So love, and travel is part of my soul, you guys. I was in 4 countries by the time I was 4. So it's in my blood. So what's in your blood that you can integrate and create? And then what if you created academies and consulting and masterminded and charged $10,000 a year? There's so many internet gurus, you guys, out there, and so many coaches. I coached with over 4 coaches last year, and I can tell you there's really, really great ones, and there's ones that barely give you any value for that price tag and up. So how can you combine things and strategize to create massive value in the market and basically create a niche for yourself? So really, really want you to think about, and simply the takeaway is take action. It really is that simple. Stop thinking about what if it doesn't work, but what if it does? And I can tell you the answers show up along the way. And this presentation with Natalie and FMI and speaking is a complete testament to that, because I was creating billions in our brains for what I thought was a webinar, providing a testimonial for Natalie from the massive value of FMI of over 300,000 in my life over the last 8 months, as far as just like value generated or value like saved or value like projected, like from every dimension. And never in a million years would have thought I'm going to be speaking at FMI off of that. And then I also want to talk about their strength in the struggle. Stop playing the victim if you've been playing the victim. That, this is happening to you, that's happening to you. Take 100% responsibility for your life. And realize there are things that you've done to contribute to what's happened. Slow down and pay attention. And when somebody frustrates you, ask yourself, what boundary did I not put into place? What did I do to create this? What did I not say that created this? Did I think this person was reading my mind? And so I didn't tell them something because I figured they knew? You guys, common sense isn't so common anymore. So, and not everyone grew up with the background you grew up with or the experiences you grew up with. And when I say these things, these are the things I say to myself. So slow down and pay attention and realize the struggle is refining you to be a champion. It's no different than you basically being chiseled in your muscles. So it's time to shape up your fitness business. You can get started today. Go to fmiguild.org. Plus there's free webinars on there. Plus if you visit my website, I've got a free 90-day plan. So take action. And it's time to shape up and stop basically saying you don't have enough money, you don't have enough clients, you don't have enough this, you don't have enough that. Take 100% responsibility and make it happen.
If we take it from a high level now, let's summarize, like, what does your business, like, if you can describe in like 1 or 2 sentences, what does your business do and what problems does it solve?
Awesome. So Fit Life Creation is a one-stop lifestyle transformation brand in health, in wealth, and in business. And we have basically allow not only our clients, but also our ambassadors the freedom to play and create within the structure that we've created their own programs, their own academies, their own retreats, their own ambassadorships, and their own fundraising that fits them within the structures that we've laid out. So for example, we have 4 programs. That's just one example. And it's like a menu. That it's like, okay, here's the structure. This is what I picked. And then the problems that we solve is the whole premise behind it all. The fact that not only are we a one-stop lifestyle transformation, but everything out of it is geared to create nonprofits. That's going to be the next springboard of the brand in about 5 to 7 years to help end homelessness and to help battered women. And so the whole premise is transformation and inspiration to help people transform their lives in health, wealth, and business, and then use their story to inspire and to give back.
So basically what you're saying is, like, if someone has a passion for fitness, something similar to you, they have a passion for fitness, they want to clean up their business because they're kind of a one-man show, they're looking to learn how to monetize because maybe they're maybe risk adverse or they don't have the resources right now to create their own products. And then finally, they like to travel and they want to give back.
Yes.
Is that your ideal customer, would you say?
Yes, because it's a lifestyle. I'm not trying to develop a niche with one person. I'm trying to create a lifestyle and show people that it's possible, that it doesn't matter what, crazy dreams you have, you can 100% create it.
And the beauty of this is that you get to tap into Katrina's beautiful mind brain. This is what I always call her, the beautiful mind, because she was able, because she does deep dives, how one half of her hemispheres operates, she has created everything already. She has already documented everything. She has all the videos, the worksheets, the spreadsheets, the products, everything, as she mentioned, 4 different products. But then at the high level, she's already thought about how to monetize it, and she's created that path that you can follow along. So she's created the academy that someone can go ahead and execute on. So is it kind of like a done-for-you box? They kind of just go on a holiday with you in some really cool location. They get some good workouts in. They learn a little bit about business. They learn how to clean themselves up, and then they're just like plug and play. Let's roll.
So basically, exactly your point. So I'll talk about Costa Rica a bit since that's coming up. So like we've got Costa Rica, Cuba, and Brazil coming up. And basically, the model is set up that we use influencers for the marketing arm, but then we co-collaborate to create client retreats. And they're basically at private villas. So it's all inclusive, but it's not your typical all-inclusive experience, because I know it's hard for people possibly trying to change their life to be in an all-inclusive resort that also has, suites and alcohol and all these things. So I'm creating a smaller kind of niche group each time, like you said, different locations all around the world. And every time there's new experiences. But every time, because every group is different and then every country is different, so I'm always curating and figuring out, and then even every time we visit, different countries. Like I've been to over 24 countries. So I love to travel. Like I'm on the road to hit 100 or more. And so like Costa Rica is going to be content creation, part of it, because I know a lot of people for social media purposes and for blog purposes want pictures with a photographer. So I thought, okay, what if I include a photographer that's not only there with them to shoot for an hour, but on top of that is there the entire time. On top of that, they have like a welcome dinner with the chef and, you know, healthy like experience with the local cuisine. Like we're gonna have Costa Rican tapas, but still there's limits, or there's still, you know, a healthy basically experience. Then we have workshops the next morning after meditation and after like a silent swim, because there's a pool at the villa. Then we're gonna have workshops on basically digital, on social. We're also gonna have creating retreats, where I walk them through Model A. If you want to create influencer retreats, because again, I believe there's more than enough success in the world for everyone. You know, if we're only taking, you know, X amount of people every time, my goal is to build teams and ambassadors, and then also showing them how you can create amazing client retreats, utilizing Airbnb, utilizing, you know, partnerships, you know, utilizing all this monetization, immersing your clients in an experience. And then we're also integrating service. So like this time we're doing an animal basically rescue center, Las Pumas, and giving back and donating supplies and donating money. Because again, every country has different needs. And when you put other people's needs in front of you and you really realize that you have so much to be grateful for and so much gratitude, and you always have in mind, how can I give back today? It exponentially comes back to you. It's just the way the world works. It's law. And then we're also going to have an entire adventure day where we go ziplining and we go horseback riding and we go in thermal mud baths. So I can't wait to see some of the pictures from that. I was actually talking to the photographer today. You know, and just really have, you know, a time to really connect, where people aren't in like 10 different locations, but we're like immersing ourselves. It's a really attracting people that want to transform, to inspire, and to business building.
Very cool. So how does someone get involved in a program like this? Do they have to apply, or do they, is there like a website they actually do, they can purchase it through? How does it work?
So as far as the influencer retreats, or which component?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're trying to say, like, I'm watching this presentation and like, my gosh, this speaks to me. This speaks to all my causes. How do I work with you? How do I get this going?
Awesome. So the best way to do is, first I would say, is go to fitlifecreation.com. The first thing I always tell people to do is go to our freebies. I've created a lot of content, and I'm always creating content, and we're launching a video series either end of this year into next year as well. But there's tons of stuff on there. There's a grocery list. There's a habit identifier. There is free recipe access, you guys, for 6 months with a partner of mine, Playjoy, that I give you the code away. Because wherever you start, to me, it's important that you start. Whether you decide to work with us long term, to me, I have satisfaction in the fact that even you started. There's a workout program on there. There's from a health component. From a mental component, there's a space creator to help you print out the worksheet and go through creating space in your mind for all the things that are cluttering you, whether it's your time, whether it's digital, whether it's relational, so many different angles, financial, business, like really sitting back and assessing. From a business standpoint, there's a 90-day program on there, our 90-day plan. There's also a free 3-part series on there. And from a money standpoint, there's also a vet check and some other things on there as well. So I always recommend people start at the freebies. Then once you kind of play and immerse yourself in the content there, then go to the experiences. There's a link on there that says experiences. There's programs, there's retreats, there's academies, there's fundraising, and the events. So see what speaks to you first is what I always recommend. See what's your kind of immediate need. What, like, if I asked you today, like, what's your biggest problem you have? What's your biggest pain point, or the biggest thing that you want to get out of your way? And start with that. And then, you know, basically look at the options, because they're set up on there, and then set up a consultation if you have questions. And shoot us an email, or if you're the type of person that's like, okay, I'm ready, I just want to jump all in. Well, obviously you can jump all in with the programs, we'll follow up. If you're interested in the retreats, it depends on if you're an influencer and those go through a screening process, or if you're ready to attend as a client, or with the academy, or the event, or the fundraisers. Those are more of a collaboration. We figure out together. So you pick the academy, you pick the duration, and we figure out together. There's content that you receive automatically, and there's items and products you receive automatically in health, wealth, and business. But then we decide, okay, where do you need help with the business plan? You need help with the monetization. So I'm basically utilizing a lot of the consulting background to help you create your own academy or your own fundraisers or your own events. And then just figure out the monetization that works for that person. So it's a joint effort.
Awesome. So that's what I wanted to hear, is in the sense, like, someone's going to watch this presentation and they're going to say, okay, where's my take action? What can I do to take action now that I understand a little bit about what you can offer? Now, we got a little taste of how we can help people through your presentation. Tell me what you're going to do at FMI.
So I am so excited about FMI. I have practiced my presentation already like 3 times, and I keep thinking about stuff to add because I'm a giver and I love to give, and I want people to walk away believing in themselves, and I want them to walk away with seeing that it's possible, whatever their dreams are, and I want them to walk away with that they can overcome their fears. No different than training a muscle. It's training your mind. And what I'm going to be going through is a lot more in depth of what I covered today. I'm going to go over a detailed purpose to profits activity. I'm going to go over in detail the space creator, and the people will be sharing kind of their input and sharing, what their experiences are and the aha moments they have real time. That, oh, I just realized I spend over 5 hours, a day on social media. Well, clearly your time is being eaten up. So, what boundaries can you put into play to change that and free up time? So the space creator, purpose to profits, we're going to go through an incredible activity called value creation. So it'll help you, it will help the participants that are there or that are watching think about, how can I take my fitness programs? How can I take my group classes? How can I take the meal plans, the workout plan packages that I have and take them to the next level? How can I catapult my retention with my clients and retain my clients? Because I hear so many fitness trainers I've talked to and collaborated with, recently even is, hey, one of my #1 issues is I don't retain clients. And I'm like, well, it's one of 2 or 3 things. Boundaries, expectations, communication, and then what are you doing to reward them? People were all like children. It's like, what's the gold star? And one of the things I'll talk about is how I created content out of a photo shoot with one of my clients. So I was thinking on multiple levels of how can I reward her, but how can I do something for me and for the business all at the same time? So they're going to get sneak peeks into value creation and go through activities there. We're going to go through the case study that you saw a sneak peek of today, but in a lot more depth. We're also going to go into a 3-part activity of basically starting with where you are and creating what's next for you at the same time. So I like to say my head is in the clouds, but my feet are on the ground, except for when I fractured my foot surfing. Clearly,
amazing retreat, which is, I have to add that too, So it's not like you just fractured your foot being boring. You were out living your dream vision that you wanted to do for your business and how to help people.
It'll heal, but get focused. So part of that is, they'll walk through a 3-part activity of, keeping their feet on the ground to really, like how you said, how I have a beautiful mind. So thank you. Because for years I used to get frustrated because I'm like, well, why don't people get me? How do people not get me? And now I realize, like, oh, it's because I'm really weird.
Guys, when I first was talking to Katrina and I was listening to how she can do this thing with her head and take ideas and do that, I was like, what? I'm a technical person with an MBA, so I thought I was pretty talented and I was pretty dope, but then I met Katrina.
You are dope. Thank you. So basically, I'm going to take them to their feet on the ground. Okay, here's where you are right now. Let's focus where you are right now, and then what's next. But at the same time, I'm going to walk them through the beautiful mind into the vision of basically setting the tone first on the vision and all the wealth they can create and all the monetization vehicles step by step. But then I'm going to pull them back. Okay, great, guys. You've been playing. You've been in the playground. You've been dreaming. And I want you to dream. I always want people to take time to dream because that's what pulls you. The vision pulls you. Whether it was Steve Jobs, Phil Knight, Walt Disney, it was the vision that pulled them, Oprah. But I want people to also get tactical. That, okay, I don't want you to just play and be in La La Land. I want you to come back to earth and say, with where you are today, what's next? and what steps do you take, and then walking them through that process, and then having everyone share and bringing in examples that have nothing to do with the fitness industry, but helping them see the clarity that, you guys, the more that you expose yourself, whether it's to, you know, large companies, whether it's to bloggers, whether it's to, you know, innovative brands like Uber, or, you know, different things, that you start to realize the possibilities are literally limitless. And what could you create, and what energy could you put out there in action to start creating something that's unique to you? I mean, Uber didn't exist before Uber existed. And now it's second nature, but it's a perfect example of how quick. I mean, their valuation was over $60 billion a couple months ago.
Oh my gosh. You know, I'll tell you what, like, even I have a team member who lives in Pakistan, and he's telling me about Uber. I'm like, whoa, that's incredible how fast a business can grow, and how, I mean, just obviously the business model just works globally. Yeah. So yeah, it's about getting yourself organized, and someone like you who knows their numbers inside out and knows how to measure current placement, and then like, how, I guess the best way is like, you can measure every single step of the way, performance, and with all the ratios. That's something that would really impress me.
Thank you. And it's funny you say that, because years ago, I used to send like status reports to the CEO and CFO when I worked for them in my last job in corporate 5.5 years ago. And I realized last year, 2 things that I was missing that really started to catapult my results. Number one was when I was in college, and I don't say this at all like to brag, I just say this like to realize, what was I doing then when I was juggling all these balls and everything was going great? I was in college taking 18 to 27 hours a semester. I was working at...
Did you say 27?
I took 18 in person, and I took 9 correspondence in one semester, and I finished them all in straight A's.
This is what I'm saying. Beautiful mind. I didn't even know that, but I could tell you that I saw it from a mile away.
So I was doing that. Then I was working at a credit union part-time on the weekends, but I was generating full-time results. I was kicking basically the ass of people that were working full-time. And for me, it was easy, but I realized I was really connecting with each person. So sometimes I would spend like 2 hours with the person that came in for financial guidance and their credit and getting loans, but I really wanted to connect with that person and really wanted to solve their problems and help them. Like, I had ladies that would later come to me only like when I only worked weekends, but it was like ladies that had like overcome cancer, or families that had overcome like massive disasters in their life that obviously impacted their finances, and they needed someone to weed through it to help them. And to me, like, there was no greater joy than connecting with a person, and that's what it is. And, you know, so that time it was 27 hours working, you know, at the credit union. Then on the weekends, basically, I was still partying back then. Like, I didn't take care of my body at all the way I do now. So it made me realize it was too easy. And then I was still managing 3 organizations on campus. 3. We started a nonprofit with 2 of my best friends that's still in existence today that I'm so grateful for. And then 2 others that I was planning events for like 10, 15,000 people on campus. And managing a budget, it was program council, managing a budget of over $150,000 back then. So that was like baby Katrina. But baby Katrina took it for granted that all these things were gifts, that these were like loves and passions that I had, and these didn't come easy. So back then, and I was also generating a return on my stock portfolio by myself of over 400%.
Now, everyone who's watching right now, do you want this person on your team? Yes or no? I'm just putting it out there. Like, this is what she does for corporations, for herself, and whatnot. And so she can help you to do
Thank you for that plug, Natalie. But it made me laugh, because going back to what the lesson and all that was, when I was so laser focused back then, what did I do? I was just emailing this to you and Gary on an email. I wrote everything down. I kept an old school book planner. And I wrote down.
It was mine. I had like maybe 100 of these collected over the years.
Yes, I wrote everything down. And the thing that I hope everyone takes away from this presentation and at FMI, we're going to have booklets, that it is a proven scientific fact. And I realized that for years after, like, I realized this like 2 years ago, that I realized I had started writing down things less. And when I went back in my brain to when I did things when I was super focused and everything was going great, I said, I always wrote stuff down. I need to keep writing stuff down again. And as soon as I started implementing that last June, I started completing 90-day plans in 30 days. Like, it became crazy. And then what I used to do in corporate, like the last one of the case studies I gave you, where I guesstimated 2 million, and I actually generated 10 million, of course, with the team and, concerted effort. I was actually managing at that point 3 different business units. So I was at the parent company, and I was managing basically different issues, projects, audit from 3 different units. And the 10 million that was generated, I realized, okay, I had a lot less pressure on myself. I delegated a lot more. I teamed up a lot more. I wrote stuff down, and I also kept an ongoing status report every day. And I also emailed the CEO and the CFO a status report, and I also tracked every single piece of result, like down to the nitty-gritty, no matter how small it was, because it was a sign of what was coming. So as soon as I started implementing all that again, the results started turning more and more and more. But it's the merging of the old school with the new school. Reinforce it with technology, but don't depend on technology. And the accountability is huge. If you can't hold yourself accountable, how are you going to hold anyone else accountable?
That is actually probably one of your special superpowers, is when I saw how you keep accountability on the numbers. That was very, very impressive, because I think most entrepreneurs can say that they get busy in the operations of what they do, and it's a learned skill set to be a manager, to be the oversight person, looking at your financials and seeing how, and keeping up on your analysis of what can you move forward.
But no, you know what, Natalie, I just want to say also that was a very soulful personal journey, because some of what I'm going to share at FMI is also my money story. And when I worked at corporate, I generated 7, 8, 9, 10 figures. And so I'll share a sneak peek here. But my own personal finances, even though I was a CPA and I could manage their money like rock stars, and help others, I sucked at my own money management. I was overspending. My own money was complete chaos. But it was also because of my own worth issues and finding worth in my work as opposed to worth in myself. And the transfer of that, and the more I focused, no different than a muscle, starting with my spending back in 2010, and in my giving is when it started, the transformation of my financial situation. It has been massive, and it's all here, and it starts with the things we've witnessed as growing up, and it starts with the culture that we grew up with, and it starts with the peer pressure, and really stepping outside yourself to realize what you're doing great, but what you're doing that needs to be refined. Like, I still have to catch myself to say, okay, wait a minute, even though you're excited about this, don't spend the money on this yet, because you still have to factor in this, and this issue that may change, whether you go this way or that way. Or I'm still basically currently paying off debt because of those past consequences. And so I have to stop myself from paying off the debt too quickly, because growing up, my mom was always like afraid of debt. So I had to condition my mind to say, okay, right now you got to channel your finances here, here, and here. This will get paid next year, systematically, but don't rush to do anything. So I can resonate and relate with fitness professionals, with people all over, because we're not taught in school how to goal set. We're not taught in school how to deal with, so back to problem solving. Our education is memorization of facts that people want us to learn. And if you're not critical in your thinking, you don't go out seek other knowledge from other countries or other people, then you miss the boat. And we're not taught how to manage wealth. We're not taught how to manage health. We're not taught how to goal set or to basically deal with business or to be entrepreneurs. We're taught to work for someone else's dream.
Can we just bottle that one up right now, which is we are exactly what we're not taught. This is so true. I couldn't even say it even better. It was very succinct.
Thank you.
And this is like part of a passion that I have with FMI, is to try to fill in those gaps that we're not taught. We're taught how to do our job. We're not taught how to take care of ourselves.
And we're not taught how to think for ourselves. Unless you have parents instilled that with you, which, thank God, like I would say both of my parents instilled that in me and always instilled belief in me. But unfortunately, some people, especially more and more today, grow up in homes that are split, grow up in homes of parents that don't expose them to that level of thinking or belief. And sometimes people go their entire lives thinking, that, hey, this is life and this is all I can do and that's it. And they don't see the possibility for more. Or that they don't see the vision of that their life can be completely different.
So this is actually something that you're actually going to cover at FMI, right? Like how to self-care on the financial side, the health fitness side, which we do know, but really on the business side of things, how to self-care ourselves.
And the boundaries and just the respect. And I'm going to talk about also like the respect components of giving and gratitude and generating value. But also one of the things I want to talk about just briefly, and I'll cover this a lot more at FMI, is freedom. As an entrepreneur or creating your own dream, creating your own life, the biggest thing is freedom. It's time freedom. It's relational freedom. It's financial freedom. But the biggest takeaway for me is also the gratitude and being able to choose of who I work with, when and how, and the energy that you align with. And so, sometimes we think because we worked at companies that, oh, this person was bad or this, that, and the other thing mistreated me, and I have to take it. And sometimes we make the jump as entrepreneurs, or partially, like I always joke that even before I was a 100% entrepreneur, I always had side hustles. And my first gig at being an entrepreneur was Girl Scout cookies. And I wanted this little teddy bear pin. And I said, I'm going to sell 200 boxes, and Mom and Dad, you're going to help me.
Little Katrina.
Little Katrina was like, that's what I want, and we're doing it, and you're my team, and you're helping me. And so, but in that journey, later when I worked with other people, even though I had side hustles, so many times, it's so common, we're, mistreated, or people don't know how to talk to people or respect and honor them. And, in that process, I even sometimes forgot that or didn't realize that, and especially in a corporate hierarchical structure, it's, this fallacy of, oh, this person has this title or this position, or even when you see people that own these companies, people will like sometimes worship them. And I'm like, you guys, like I was taught like everyone eats, sleeps, and the same.
Yeah.
And treat people how you want to be treated. And as an entrepreneur, the beauty of that is just because you see a vision with one brand or one person, it doesn't mean it's going to be with that person. Like if they don't align with values, if they're, mistreating or anything, like the freedom in stepping away and still knowing that your dream might happen in a different way, but choosing who, how, and when you work.
I love that message. I'm so glad. I'm so excited for FMI. This is like, I knew you had something good up your sleeve, but hearing how much you're going to deliver is just going to knock this out of the park. So
I'm really excited. And I have like 3 videos that I'm also queuing up. To really just integrate some inspiration and really set the tone. Like I'm kind of reorganizing the content because I added a lot more since we first saw the presentation.
What's really cool about the FMI Summit is that everything that we are going to be teaching, we're also going to be doing on live stream. So no excuses, no matter where you are, you can queue in. But beyond the no excuses claim is that I have a gift for you, and that is you get to earn your CEUs through our education, including on live stream. So what that means is if you come to our event, you can earn some CEUs that will apply towards your personal training certifications. In addition, if you can't make it to the live event and you get on the live stream, if you watch the live and you are listening to Katrina, you're going to get some amazing nuggets, unique nuggets, a unique level of CEUs, because this is hitting business education in the fitness industry, not just the exercise science side of things. So this is going to help grow your business in a different way, and you're going to earn your credits. So please come out, check us out at fitnessmbaSummit.com. You can start buying your tickets. Our event is going to be October 20th to the 22nd. And thank you so much, Katrina. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. And you guys have an amazing, amazing day, and I hope to see you at